ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930 present The Drive.
It is Wednesday, April 2nd. Your drive begins now on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. I'm your host, Paul Swann. Glad to be with you. Our text line this hour is brought to you by Clark's Pump and Shop, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Our Wednesday conversation with Ryan Crisp, that's been canceled today. I think we got an upgrade. Jarrod Hunley is going to join us, the Director of Marketing and Fan Engagement for Marshall University. I think we got the better end of the deal today. So we got Jarrod. He's coming up in the next few minutes. Always looking forward to talking to him or Ryan, so they'll get us caught up on everything that's happening with Marshall. Of course, we got the spring game coming up. We've got all kinds of ticket deals. I'm sure there's something for everybody. So Jarrod's going to get us caught up on everything that's happening with the Thundering Herd. We'll talk to him in a few minutes. But until then, we'll keep that text line open. You got to recap a couple that we missed yesterday. You know, yesterday was April Fool's. And so the Thundering Herd coming out with the squirrels, the Thundering Squirrels. And I'm sitting here thinking, you know what? There needs to be merchandise for this. I should be able to go down to Glenn's right now and get my Thundering Squirrels hat. I want my Thundering Squirrels jersey. I want my Thundering Squirrels T-shirt. I want all my Thundering Squirrels material right now. And somebody texted in yesterday, came in late, but I thought it was worth saying, Ohio University Athens has a squirrel theme. Ivy League squirrels. They have squirrel apparel and etc. I appreciate that text. Sorry I missed it yesterday, but it goes right into what I was talking about. You got to have some merch. Come on. We could have the throwbacks, but instead of being throwbacks, we could have just a fun day. You know, Minor League Baseball does it all the time. Nobody cares. Colecats are going to come out in hot dog jerseys. Mothman, is that too far behind? I know the team in Charleston did the Mothman theme once. Why not? It'd be fun in college. I don't know if you can get away with that too much, though, because there's such a tradition that you can't touch that. Now, that's holy ground. Can't touch that. But I think it would be fun. So the kids would get into it. Absolutely. So we're going to get more of your text in. We'll do that throughout the show. If you got any questions for Jarrod, give them to me now. 304-396-TALK. 304-396-8255. That's our number to be a part of the show. Hey, it's happy times around here today. The Pirates earlier this afternoon got the win. Finally got a win. Beat Tampa Ray 4-2. Paul Skeens allowed one unearned run over 7 innings, struck out 6. O'Neal Cruz went 2 for 4 with a home run and 2 RBIs. And the Pirates got the win 4-2. Guess what? The Pirates now go into the series against the New York Yankees with a little momentum. That's coming up this weekend. We're going to have the majority of those games right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. But all of the in-house Pirate fans are happy today, so that makes my life a lot easier. The Rangers got the best of the Reds today, 1-0. And the Brewers got the better of the Kansas City Royals, 3-2, coming up later tonight. Of course, actually, the Pirates are off tomorrow, and the Reds will take on the Rangers. That is coming up tomorrow. Cleveland is off today. The Guardians got the loss yesterday against the Padres, 7-0, and so they are. It looks like they're in action here soon. I don't have the actual score update on that one, but the Guardians looking all right now. It's the first couple of weeks, opening day. It's the first couple of weeks. Really don't have a good feeling just yet where all these teams are. I do have a good feeling about the Marshall Thundering Herd. Got the win in 10 innings over EKU last night at the Jack, 2-1. The Herd will play host now to Southern Miss this weekend. Game 1's going to be Friday at 6 at Jack Cook Field. Game 2 will have 4 o'clock on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Also, the Thundering Herd softball team will play at Appalachian State. 3-game Sun Belt Series. That'll start on Friday. Hopefully the Herd can win that series and stay on top of the Sun Belt standings. And, of course, as we get closer to April 12th, kickoff's going to be 3 o'clock for the spring game at Jones C. Edwards Stadium. That's where we will bring in the next couple of minutes to talk a little bit about that is Jarrod Hunley, the Director of Marketing and Fan Engagement. He'll give us all the details, everything you need to know, and, of course, what the procedures will be. I'm pretty sure if you're an old hat at this by now, you know where to go, what to do. Just in case you don't, Jarrod's going to get us caught up on everything you need to know for that game, and we'll get a chance to see what the new-look Thundering Herd is all about. I temper that, though. I don't want to rain on anyone's parade, but we don't know what the team's going to look like yet still, because after that game, transfer portal opens. Coaching staff might want to address some weaknesses, might not have it at a certain position, might have everything you need at a certain position. And so there might be some players that say, you know what, I don't think I'm going to cut it out here. I just don't think that it's going to work. There are going to be some players that maybe see the writing on the wall. Okay, I'm not going to be here. I'm not going to be productive. And there might be some players that are out there in the wings waiting, and you can go get them, address some needs, understand a little bit better of what you have and what you might need. So there are some positives for the spring game, but that's set for April 12th. And again, kickoff's going to be 3 o'clock at Jones C. Edwards Stadium. We got a lot to get into. The NFL rule changes. We'll talk about those and how those might impact the game. Also, we'll take a look at what's happening the rest of the way across college sports. NCAA Final Four coming up sooner than you think. We'll have those games as well right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. We'll start talking a little hockey only because we are 4 goals away from the new record being set. Alex Ovechkin, 4 goals away from setting the record and beating the NHL record, Wayne Gretzky's all-time NHL record, the great one, soon to be surpassed by the great 8. And I think they're both great players. Gretzky's journey a little different in the NHL. He wasn't even a rookie in the NHL. And so there could be some controversy, some debate. Is this the true, real record? Of course, if it's not the true, real record, you got to add some goals in from when Gretzky was playing and not in the league. And the reason I bring that up is because Paul Brown got some more wins put on his record. NFL owners approved a proposal by the competition committee to incorporate player, coach, and team statistics from the All-American Football Conference into the official NFL records. The All-American Football Conference existed from 1946 to 1949, with Paul Brown's Cleveland Browns winning the title in each of those years. The Browns, San Francisco 49ers, and original Baltimore Colts then joined the NFL in the 1950s. Actually, in 1950, to be exact. And so that's good news if you're a Bengals fan, because Paul Brown should be known for more than just his years in the NFL. I'm good with that. I'm actually good with that. I'm good with that, joining the records. Maybe the NHL should look at putting the records in for the World Hockey Association. Bring those in. Because after all, some of those teams join the NHL. Maybe you can bring those records in as well. I think that would be interesting. And then that would reset the goal chase for the Great 8. Maybe the NHL comes out, Gary Bettman comes out, and he pulls a switcheroo and like, okay, you got that record, but now we're going to add to Gretzky's goal total. What do you think about that, Alex? Looks like you're going to have to play a couple more years. That would be great. I don't think Bettman does it, but I would if I was the commissioner of the NHL. All right, we got to take a quick timeout. when we continue, Jarrod Hunley joins us, Director of Marketing and Fan Engagement. He'll get us caught up in everything. We got the spring game coming up, and he'll tell us about that and more on this edition of The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Save big money on your next staining project. Now at Menards. Provide exceptional color to your staining project with Minwax Color Series. It offers a rich color with just one coat. Get a quart of Minwax Color Series wood stain in over 240 colors. On sale now through April 6th. Save big on Minwax wood stains. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Stalwart Insurance is the name for insurance in the tri-state. They are committed to delivering tailored benefit solutions with thoughtful, strategic planning with valuable professional services. Stop by or call Stalwart Insurance for your homeowner's insurance needs. Stalwart Insurance is located right beside Kenny Queen Hardware on Route 10 in Barbersville. Call Stalwart Insurance anytime at 304-552-3883. That's 304-552-3883. Or visit them online at stalwartinsurance.com.
Hey Tri-State, Frank's Place is where friends hang out with friends. Stop on by for happy hour from 4 to 6 p.m. and a lot of daily specials. It's that time of year for March basketball. Frank's has you covered from the Sun Belt to the SEC, NBA to the MLB. First responders, stop by Frank's Place and check out the specials they have for you. Frank's Place, located at the River Place Plaza, next to Fratelli's. Check them out on Facebook for weekly updates and specials. Frank's Place, your home away from home.
I'm Nori, and when I was young, my mom opened our home to someone who needed a secure and safe place. She taught him what it was like to have someone care about you, having dinner at home or going out to eat together.
In West Virginia, families open their homes every year to adult family care.
Some folks need a little extra help, but everybody deserves a family.
Call the Department of Human Services and ask to speak to an adult family care home finder at 304-269-6820. Sponsored by the West Virginia Department of Human Services, the West Virginia Broadcasters Association, and this station. This project is supported by the Administration for Community Living, ACL, of the United States, U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, HHS, as part of a financial assistance award totaling $1,227,345, with 100% funded by ACL HHS. The contents are those of the authors and do not necessarily represent the official views of nor an endorsement by ACL HHS or the U.S. government.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your basement. There's a pair of overalls that overall you're not so into anymore. A perfectly good laptop that hasn't sat in your lap in months. And even more stuff, but still no jobs? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed, and they're the stuff inside your stuff. Even inside that winter coat that moved with you to Phoenix. Our job is to unlock those jobs, and it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth parting with the leftover guitar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs. Find your nearest donation center at goodwill.org. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
This is The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Miss an episode? Catch it anytime on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome back to our Wednesday edition of The Drive here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Usually we're going to be speaking with Ryan Crisp on these Wednesdays, but we got upgraded. You know, sometimes you travel coach, and all of a sudden, sir, ma'am, we've got to upgrade you because we're just generous people here at the airline, and you get to go first class. And so we're going first class. Jarrod Hunley's with us, Director of Marketing and Fan Engagement. How you doing, Jarrod?
Hey, listen, if I get introduced like that every time, I think we'll be all right. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I mean, come on, let's be honest here. We know who does all the work. Is it Ryan Crisp or is it Jarrod Hunley? We know.
Oh, heck, we all wear so many hats, you know what I mean?
Exactly. I never can get a hold of the guy on the phone. I mean, I don't want to out him too much. He's always there for me, but he's so hard to reach on the phone. Like, what meeting are you in now? What are you doing now?
Oh,
and
my gosh.
He's in 15 meetings
Meeting
an hour.
after meeting, yeah. And then he's like, every time I'm with him, too, same thing. He's meetings all day. He's got that phone ringing all the time. He is a busy man for sure.
And he's ignoring half my texts because I'll text him things like, hey Ryan, so when can we expect those Thundering Squirrels hats to be on sale? When can we expect that? That was a neat April Fool's prank yesterday. I did like that
I'll
one.
tell you what, the university side kind of cooked on that one. They did pretty well on the Thundering Squirrels, and I think, heck, if somebody did a shirt like that, I'm pretty sure they would fly.
Imagine, I'm just throwing this out here. You know how sometimes you have throwback nights, and Minor League Baseball does this so well. They'll have alternate uniform nights, and so you could have possibly the Thundering Squirrels sometime in the near future for baseball.
You know what? I was just over around your neck of the woods, and I know the Cold Cats are going to be doing that Slaw Dogs, so it could be a possibility.
Yeah, we had our conversation with the general manager of the Cold Cats, Christian Palmer, and we looked at him. And when I say we, the people he works with on a daily basis in the business office, we looked at him seriously and said, we better be able to get some Slaw Dogs at the ball game, or there's going to be trouble.
There it is.
And so not only will they be the Slaw Dogs, we will get Slaw Dogs at the ballpark. These are the things that you and I do in the background, Jarrod.
Hey, it's a thankless job, but we're there doing it,
How excited are we at this point for the spring game? What's the excitement level that you're getting from the staff, from fans that are getting tickets, interacting with you? Where are we at right now?
Oh, gosh, you know football around this place, man. We are ready to go. Our staff is ready. We're going to, piece together some things. We got a couple more things that we got to do for it. But once we nail down those, we'll be ready to go. And it's going to be a fun atmosphere. Just like the Joan is on every Saturday night, we're going to be doing that for our spring game as well. Like we talked about last time. It'll be that first. I think, typically we're used to the spring games kind of laid back, you know what I mean? But we're getting a full half of action. So we'll have one full half of action, and that's going to kick to the second half, which will be kind of that more fan engagement side of things. Have coach out there, have the players out there. Everybody can meet and greet with them. So it's been super fun to be a part of, and I think we're going to kill it come the 12th, and there's going to be a ton of Herd fans in the Joan, and I think we're all going to have a great time, man.
I don't want to put you on the spot, but Coach has been putting fans on the spot. He says he wants 10,000 fans or more at the Joan for the green-white game, spring game. How close are we? Or are we already over that mark?
We got a little bit to go. But I think, once we get a little closer, tickets are still going. I think once we get a little closer to it, I know a lot of people, you know that walk-up number for us. So that walk-up's going to be good. But our ticket outs, are also great. So we got a little bit of ways to go on the tickets out, but, I have no doubt that we're going to have a ton of Herd fans in the Joan, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
What's parking situation look like? Everything on the west lot already sold out, or you got a few spots left you're trying to sell, make sure fans get?
Yeah, should be some open. Like I said, get in touch with Ryan, get in touch with Teddy, all those people. Just make sure you're doing the due diligence on your end to get the parking spot. But should have spots open for game day still. And then, tailgating, everything like that. We should have our timeline out. I believe we put that out on social media. We should have that timeline out, kind of telling fans, when it opens, when tailgating opens, all that stuff. So should have spots open. Just reach out to us, and we'll get you taken care of.
Is there anything different, or is it just reminding fans what the procedures are going to be? I know it's going to be similar to regular season game. Do you have anything that maybe you want to add to that? I know for a regular game, get in line early. If you want to avoid the line, opening up the stadium a couple of hours early, you'll have food trucks vending for regular. Is it going to be similar to maybe a regular season game, or is it going to be a little lighter? Or you have some other things that maybe you're going to do because it is a more lax, relaxed type of game.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll be a little lighter from, the outside perspective, where we had like our food truck alley, everything like that. We're aiming to do that again this season, and have everything out like we did, and maybe kind of revamp some areas once we get to August. So it might be a little lighter that way for spring game, but no less fun. We'll still have all of our concessions. We'll still have all that going on. And once fans get in, we'll be doing things during the game. It'll kind of be set up like a game that first half. So we'll have like set timeouts. So we'll be doing things in each one of those timeouts, just to keep the crowd engaged, keep them going. So we'll have a couple fun things planned during the game. And then, like I said, once we get to that second half, that'll be where it gets like really relaxed. We get everybody down there, and then, we obviously have, 61 new faces. So we want everybody down there. We want everybody to put a face to the name and, start supporting these guys real heavy, and hopefully we can repeat and get another championship.
Jarrod Hunley is with us, Director of Marketing and Fan Engagement, Marshall University. So the spring game is coming up. We got baseball this weekend. Thundering Herd got the win yesterday over Eastern Kentucky. Always a good day when Marshall beats EKU. Won that one 2-1. Jarrod, you're probably a little too young to remember the white-hot hate that there was between Marshall and EKU. I don't know. Did you ever hear about that white-hot hate, or is that just me reminiscing?
Gosh, my dad's he's turning 70 this year, so I got the Marshall hate. Yeah, I get it. So, but yeah, we got that win, which was great. I don't want to breeze past that top 25 win that we had down at Troy. So, the boys are still doing great. I think they're doing so well. The culture over there is so great. Beals is doing a great job. So I think we're just going to keep that trajectory going and keep moving upward. And, now we have, I think it's, depending on which poll you want to look at, we've got number 13 Southern Miss coming in. So, Sun Belt's a heck of a baseball conference, and I think we're going to just keep moving up and moving forward in this league.
As we get closer to that weekend, what do fans need to know? I know softball had a great weekend. You had the 80s night, 90s night. Okay, I'm not sure if I'm into 2000s night, but 90s, 80s, I'm digging that. I like that as much as anybody.
Hey, Paul, we're getting close to the 2010s night.
Stop that.
I'm telling you, I've said we can't do that for a little bit. So, but I bet you people are getting ready for the 2010s night, which is wild. But no, so yeah, they did great. Softball is, they're doing fantastic, man. Zirkel's got them cooking. All those girls are doing really well, and like you said, they have just been doing such a good job on the field. So we really love that our softball team's doing that. Decades night for sure, which is always fun. I know Matt, David O'Leary, they did a really good job kind of with the fan engagement side of that and making sure everybody was good, and all those, posts, songs, everything that was going out was great. So that was really fun. But for this weekend, we got Southern Miss at baseball. I know that it's looking a little iffy. I don't want to say anything too much about the weather. I don't want to put anything out there yet. But I would say just keep an eye out on our schedule, keep an eye out on our socials, just see what we're doing. I know Saturday's pretty clear, so we'll definitely get some ball in on Saturday. But just keep an eye out on socials, see what we're doing, and see what time, if there's any game time changes, anything like that, just keep an eye out, and we'll keep you informed as best as we can as soon as we know it.
Let's not do 2010 night. I'm not here for that. I'm absolutely not here for that. What would that night look like? It would be what, Adele? It would be what, Taylor Swift? Beyonce?
Well, it would look like high school basketball for me. That's what it would look like.
Okay, so it would look like high school basketball. Lady Gaga, I don't know.
A lot of Drake, Lil Wayne.
Yeah, Daft Punk.
Oh yeah, Daft Punk, great pull.
Put a little Daft Punk in there. Jay-Z, you got to throw him in there as well.
Oh, come on now, like a little Sean Kingston or something.
Coldplay, Rihanna, Harry Styles.
But I think we'll definitely hold off on the 2010s for a little bit.
No Cardi B then? What?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, never stray away from it.
Right, exactly. So I hate the fact that we're going over these artists as if we are old. My guest, he is definitely the seat upgrade that we all deserve. Jarrod Hunley, Director of Marketing and Fan Engagement. Do you think that Coach has got a heater? You know, I know football. He's the man with everything going. But you think that you put Coach Gibson on the mound for baseball? You think he got a heater? What do you think?
Yeah, he's coming out. He should be coming out Saturday. We'll see. Like I said, we'll keep you updated on times, but Coach Gibson should be coming out this Saturday throughout the first pitch, and I think old Tony's a little sneaker. I think he's got a little heat in his belt, you know. So I expect him to get it right up on that mound and throw a little dart in there.
What do you think his 2010 song would be? Would it be a little Weekend, little Carly Rae Jepsen, you know, Katy Perry? What do you think?
Yeah, I think we might go a little more country for old Coach.
Okay, that sounds about right. That absolutely sounds on brand for him. So we got baseball, of course, this weekend, and if you can't come out, shame on you, but we'll have the game on Saturday right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930, and then, of course, the game also on ESPN Plus, but it's more fun at the ballpark, so we hope to see you out there. And, of course, the spring game is coming up. Looking ahead, what can Herd fans start to get excited for? Is there anything you just want to dangle that carrot out there and kind of tease for the next time?
Yeah, like you said, I mean, once we get through that spring game, I think we're all ready for August to get here. But you know, we still have our programs that are doing great right now. Like you said, like baseball trending upwards, softball doing fantastic. Our tennis team so good. You know, so we've got stuff in the spring that we got to keep our focus on and keep supporting as best we can. And then, like I said, once we get through that spring game, I know that's going to bring all the excitement. And we'll get to the fall, and football season will be here before you know it. I think that's, you know, as I get older now, and you as well, you know, like it's just that time factor. It's so fast now. I feel like you blink and it's a couple months ahead. So, you know, we'll be here before you know it. Basketball season will be here before you know it. Corny's got those guys going. Julie's got the girls going. You know, we got all our teams training really well. I think we're all doing great. So that's dangling the carrot. I think if you just look at what we're doing, I mean, we're doing a heck of a job. So just come out, support. These kids deserve it. They're doing so good, just academically on the field. So just come out and support. That's the best I got for you, Paul.
We will always take it. Have a great rest of the week. Jarrod Hunley with us, Director, Marketing and Fan Engagement. Have a good weekend as well. And let's we got to figure out what Coach's walk-up music is at least. Can you? I want that on social. What his walk-up music was or is. That's what I want as a social post.
I'll figure out Coach Gibson's walk-up song.
That would be perfect. As Jarrod said, follow socials for game times just in case the weather will delay or change the schedule. Jarrod Hunley, our guest, Director of Marketing and Fan Engagement. Good to catch up with you. We'll do it again soon.
Yeah, always a pleasure, Paul. Thanks.
That's Jarrod Hunley again, everyone. He has a job that has 54 different hats as the Director of Marketing and Fan Engagement. We will get your text in 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. More coming up on today's edition of The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Calling all steak lovers. It's time to fire up the flavor at the Marshall Hall of Fame Cafe. Introducing the Grill Master Weekend Special. Choose a juicy New York strip or a tender ribeye, cooked just the way you like it, and served with 2 signature sides, all for just $29.99. Big taste, big value, big flavor. But only on the weekends at the Marshall Hall of Fame Cafe. Savor the grill and celebrate the weekend like a true champion with the Marshall Hall of Fame Cafe on the corner of Fawn and 3rd Avenue in downtown Huntington.
Stuck in a state of falling behind, struggling to keep up with kids, finances, insurance, and life? Well, let your State Farm agent help you simplify and get to a better state. With State Farm handling your auto, home, and life insurance, you'll have more time to handle everything else. More money, too. Adding State Farm policies can earn discounts that could add up to 40%. Help you get ahead. Call an agent today and get to a better state with State Farm. In Huntington, Ray Crabtree, 304-736-8181. In Milton, Russ McRae, 304-743-9318. And in Lavallette, Jason Elkins, 304-529-7555.
Metro Community Federal Credit Union now brings you all the tech that big banks have, but still has that personal touch of a member-owned community credit union. Apple Pay? Got it. Digital wallet? Yep. Message pay by text, online loan payments, even chatting with a real person, not a bot. Open accounts, sign documents, and manage your money all online. It's the big bank tech you need from the local community-minded credit union you trust. Metro Community FCU. Visit metrocommunityfcu.com today.
Kindred Communications is committed to equal employment opportunities. We are actively seeking organizations that assist in connecting job seekers with employers. If your organization is interested in collaborating with us, please reach out. Visit kindredcom.net or call 304-523-8401 for more information. Kindred Communications Incorporated. Equal opportunity is our priority.
Now is the time to add on a new bathroom or remodel your old one with the latest up-to-date bathroom fixtures from Mutual Wholesalers, 710 5th Street, Huntington. Come in today to Mutual Wholesalers' beautiful showroom and see how your new bathroom will look. Check out Acre by Max. Have a new bathroom this year. Mutual Wholesalers, locally owned and operated, 710 5th Street, Huntington. Call 304-525-9118.
Okay, forest animals, today is a new day. Kids are coming to the forest, and it's up to us to make their visit a good one. Sparrow.
Yes?
Have you practiced the most popular bird songs for the year?
Of course.
Catchy. I like it. Okay, River.
Dude.
How's the temperature?
It's a refreshing 52 degrees, man. Perfect for a little riverside shoeless relaxation.
Ah, good. Owl, you here? Course. Who's asking? I am. Look, you know the drill. Sleep during the day, scare the kids at night. Perfect. I love my job. Oak Tree?
What's up?
Still in the same place I left you last year. That's what I like. Consistency.
Well, it's not like I'm going anywhere for the next couple hundred years.
I know. I love it. Turtle. Turtle.
He's not here yet, man.
He's late every morning. You'd think he would have learned by now to leave the night before our meetings. Okay. Squirrel. Has anybody seen Mr. Squirrel?
The forest has been preparing just for you. Visit a forest near you today. To learn more about cool things to do in the forest, visit discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Hi, this is Dave Wilson, host of Metro News Talk Line, and you're listening to The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Thank you, Dave. Appreciate that. Dave, back with us tomorrow, 10:06, ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Our text line this hour brought to you by Clark's Pump and Shop, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. We were talking about the squirrels. Texter says, Paul, who would win between a squirrel from Athens and a squirrel from Huntington? Well, obviously, the Huntington squirrel would win. The Marshall squirrel would beat the Ohio University squirrel. No questions asked. 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. So NFL making some competition changes. Some I think you might like, some you might question. But the NFL always changing something. So here we go. Overtime rule. I agree with this. I don't have a problem with the current overtime rule, but I do agree with this. Both teams will be now guaranteed a possession in regular season overtime, mirroring the postseason format. Overtime remains 10 minutes, and if it's tied after both possessions, the game ends in a tie. Okay? So you get a possession to score, and then the other team gets a possession to score. And if tied after both possessions, game ends in a tie. All right. The kickoff touchback is now going to be spotted at the 35-yard line instead of the 30-yard line. Point of this is to try to encourage more returns because all you have to do is kick that into the end zone. Other team starts at the 30, hold them 70. Is this more of a player safety concern? I don't know if I would have changed this one. the more I look at it, I don't know if I would have changed this one. Because let's just be honest with you. Is 5 more yards going to be that much of a difference? Really? I probably would say no, but we'll see what it looks like. So kickoff touchback's going to be spotted at the 35-yard line. Replay assistant expansion. The officials can now use replay assist to overturn penalties with clear and obvious video evidence. So that'll help getting the call right. I don't think anyone has a problem with that. Now, here's one. The NFL is going to phase out the chain crews, the guys that hold the sticks. It's going to be replaced with camera-based technology. You're looking for more precise first down measurements. I'm interested to see how this one works because you want to get it right. And since the NFL is a game of inches, and it's a game that every centimeter counts. It's one of those games where every inch, every centimeter, every advantage you can get, you take. And so it's a turf war. And you want to get the best accurate reading you possibly can to determine a first down, because there have been times games have been determined based off of a centimeter. And so I'm okay with this one. You're going to phase out the chain gang. I'm okay with that as well. I mean, sure, there's always going to be a need for the chain gang maybe as a backup, but this is going to be a little bit more accurate. You do it in other sports. I think it's time to incorporate all of this into the National Football League. I don't think you're going to see this happen in college football anytime soon. It's completely different. The metrics are going to be different. College football, some programs can afford this stuff, some can't. And so, the NFL can implement this league-wide, whereas college football, it's amazing you can get things done collectively. Also, the tush-push play will remain. The league discussed banning the tush-push, the quarterback sneak, but it's postponed for right now. They're not going to rule on it just yet. I don't know if I am against this or not. Now, I've seen some of the videos talking about the science behind this and why it's so successful. Make a play, right? If you're trying to stop the other team, make a play. Or devise a counter to this. Somebody somewhere will figure out how to disrupt this eventually. Remember, the Wildcat used to be the way to go until it got figured out. I mean, it's still viable, but offenses don't go to it every single play now. You figure out ways to counter it, and then you figure out ways to counter the counter. All in all, for the most part, I don't have a problem with really any of these rule changes. Again, the touchbacks one that, okay, I'm indifferent to. 30-yard line was fine for me. 35-yard line, that's fine. The overtime rule, I think that's okay. At least you make it seem like it's fair, that the other team has an opportunity to go out there and think about this. If you've got the ball and you score, I mean, you're going to try to maybe score the touchdown, and the other team gets the ball. Do you go for two? What do you do here? I would say it's going to maybe change how you look at this, because both teams are going to be guaranteed the overtime possession. And so if the score is still tied after both teams have a possession overtime, the next team to score will win the game. And I'm completely on board with that. You get a possession, and then after the 10 minutes are up, if it's tied, it's over. But you get a possession, you score. I get a possession, I score. It's tied. Then next score wins. I'm okay with that. That's how it should be. I think it's definitely more engaging. I almost prefer it to the college overtime rule, to be honest with you. I don't know if I like the college overtime rule these days the way I do the NFL rule. NFL, here it is. Go score if you can. Other team gets a possession, and then there you go. 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. More coming up on today's edition of The Drive, ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Stalwart Insurance is the name for insurance in the tri-state. They are committed to delivering tailored benefit solutions with thoughtful, strategic planning with valuable professional services. Stop by or call Stalwart Insurance for your homeowner's insurance needs. Stalwart Insurance is located right beside Kenny Queen Hardware on Route 10 in Barbersville. Call Stalwart Insurance anytime at 304-552-3883. That's 304-552-3883. Or visit them online at stalwartinsurance.com.
At Poca Valley Bank, a handshake can still mean the start of a great relationship. We've been greeting customers with a handshake since 1908. Why settle for less? If you're purchasing your first home or planning for your future, Poca Valley Bank is here to support you with personalized service and local expertise. They are your trusted advisors. Why settle for less when you can experience banking with a team that truly cares? Poca Valley Bank, where relationships matter. Visit PocaValleyBank.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hey Tri-State, Frank's Place is where friends hang out with friends. Stop on by for happy hour from 4 to 6 p.m. and a lot of daily specials. It's that time of year for March basketball. Frank's has you covered from the Sun Belt to the SEC, NBA to the MLB. First responders, stop by Frank's Place and check out the specials they have for you. Frank's Place, located at the River Place Plaza, next to Fratelli's. Check them out on Facebook for weekly updates and specials. Frank's Place, your home away from home.
Hi, I'm Nori, and over the years, my mother and I have opened our homes to those who need it most, and it's been so rewarding. I bet you didn't know that some adults who have unfortunately been mistreated need a place to call home in West Virginia. It happens more than you know. They may have some physical or mental limitations, and they need your help. Everyone deserves a place to call their own. I can tell you from my experience, it's worth it.
If you have an open heart and want to open your home, Adult Family Care may be the right fit for you. Call the Department of Human Services and ask to speak to an Adult Family Care Home Finder at 304-269-6820. Sponsored by the West Virginia Department of Human Services, the West Virginia Broadcasters Association, and this station. This project is supported by the Administration for Community Living, ACL, of the United States, U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, HHS, as part of a financial assistance award totaling $1,227,345, with 100% funded by ACL HHS. The contents are those of the authors and do not necessarily represent the official views of, nor an endorsement by ACL HHS or the U.S. government.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your basement. There's a pair of overalls that overall you're not so into anymore. A perfectly good laptop that hasn't sat in your lap in months. And even more stuff, but still no jobs? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed, and they're the stuff inside your stuff. Even inside that winter coat that moved with you to Phoenix. Our job is to unlock those jobs, and it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth parting with the leftover guitar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs. Find your nearest donation center at goodwill.org. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kristen Bell, and I invited you here to my hotel room to talk about your cheeks. Your big, beautiful cheeks. Get your mind out of the gutter. I'm talking about swabbing them. Did you guys know that each year 20,000 Americans with blood cancer are searching for their life-saving marrow match? Can you even believe that? I mean, people need marrow, you guys, and we have it. So here's how we can help. It's really, really simple. All you have to do is swab your cheek, this cheek. Then go to Gift of Life Marrow Registry. It's so easy, anyone can do it. And in case you're wondering, if you're a match, donating It's a lot easier than you think. So wherever you are, go ahead and swab that cheek. Go to giftoflife.org and get a free kit sent to your home, or find a donor drive in your area so that you can swab a cheek and save a life. It's only a minute of your time, but it can give someone else the rest of their life.
You're listening to The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Our text line this hour brought to you by Clark's Pump and Shop, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. That's our text line to be a part of today's show here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Here's a good question. I really like to have the answer to this one. Will the camera spotter system that will replace the chain gang actually follow the live ball, or will it focus on the official spot of the ball? I would think that the official's spot of the ball should be determined. What they're doing is they've got a system, it's from Sony, it's called the Hawkeye camera, and they're going to use 6 8K cameras to track the ball's position on the field. The league said if the entire measurement process will take roughly 30 seconds, which will save roughly 40 seconds compared to the manual chain gang measurements. The chain gang really isn't going away and will be continued to use in a secondary capacity. You can't get away with them being gone totally. But where will the ball spot be? That's going to be interesting. I want to see this. The first exhibition game's probably going to give us a better idea of how this will be implemented and how they'll tweak this. But wherever the ball is spotted, I would think from the chain system or the electric system is where the ref has to put it down. And how do you determine where... I mean, do you use the chain gang as sort of like a visual representation? That's kind of what I'm interested in as well. How do you put that visual representation? Because you have the marker down, and the marker's not official, but it gives you a rough idea. So if I'm pushing for the first down, it's not like we could have LED pads on the turf or on the field to kind of give us that visual representation, and maybe that's a good idea. And the overtime rule as well, just a little clarity on that one. I don't think I was as clear as I could have been. But with the overtime rule, what's going to happen is now both teams are going to be guaranteed an overtime possession during the game. And if the game is tied if both teams are still tied, after 10 minutes of play, the game will result in a tie. It'll be a little different than the playoffs because playoff games can't end in a tie. But I get the ball, then you get the ball. If we're tied and then next scorer wins, or if 10 minutes are up after the game is tied, then the game ends in a tie. I think that's probably the best way to explain that. And I'm curious to see how these overtime rules really impact how teams approach it. And I want to know more about, you've got me interested, I appreciate that text. I want to know more about how the NFL will actually measure and spot the ball. 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. That is our text line to be a part of the show here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. See if I'm doing some quick scanning, see how this works. Okay, so they're doing optical ball tracking, I know that. And they're using this as an alternate method to walk the chains out, manually measure whether 10 yards have been met for the ball spot. Here it is. Initial ball placement will still remain in the hands of on-field referees. However, once the ball is spotted, replay assist will confirm the accuracy of the spot. So, initial ball placement, hands of the on-field referee. Spot the ball, replay assistant will confirm the accuracy of that spot. I'm curious to see what this looks like in reality. Texture says, Paul, pros need to do overtime same as college. So you like the college overtime rule better than the pro overtime rule. I think that's what you're saying. I like the pro rule better, only because we don't see games drag on and just have endless. It got absurd for a few games. At least, now, I know that's probably a different type of situation. The best way I'm trying to say this is college football fans don't want, unless it's just getting ugly, college football fans don't want the game to end anytime soon. Yeah, if there's more football to be had, there's more football to be had. But I think the best way to do this, in the NFL at least, is to give both teams the ball. Okay, both teams have the ball. And then if it's still tied, next score wins, or it's over in 10 minutes after the tie. With college overtime rule, this thing could go on for a while. We could go into to multiple sessions here before it's decided. And really, it's one of those situations where, okay, we're just lob it in the end zone. All right, next, lob it in the end zone. So I think I do prefer the pro system. But I've been quite honest over the years. I more not, I like NFL football better. I like the pro game better. It's just I like that flow, that style, that pace. That's just what I like better. But I was raised on NFL football more so than I was college football. So for some, it's the other way around. You're a college football fan first, and then you're a pro fan later. Me, I was a pro fan first, and then college later. And I do like the fact that both games are different to a degree. I don't know if you should at some point figure out how to make the game the same across both the pro and college spectrum. But is there ever going to be a unified way to play the game of football? You know, we have the spring-summer league that's going to play the game of football a little bit different. And that's going to do it for this edition. Back with you tomorrow here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Don't forget, you can find me on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Paul Swann, and other various social media sites as well, for all of your comments, questions, or, of course, you just want to keep up with what we're doing here. I want to thank our guest today. Did a fantastic job filling in for Ryan Chris. Jarrod Hunley, Director of Marketing and Fan Engagement. Looking forward to everything that's happening at baseball this weekend, and, of course, spring games coming up on the 12th. Looking forward to that and seeing all of you out there. Tailgating as well. I know a couple of people are already getting their tailgate ready to go, so I'll be hitting some tailgates on that day as well. Thanks for tuning in. I'll be back with you tomorrow here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Broadcasting from the Dave & Buster's studios. Eat, drink, play, and watch at Dave & Buster's in the Huntington Mall. ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. WRBC, W231BS Huntington.